Hello everybody. I hope you're all doing really well. As you see, I've put up an image from my recent shoot at Sandcut Beach. Now, unfortunately, I mean, the light in this photograph is great. I even like the flow of the waterfall, and I even like the sun on the edge of the frame there with the kind of lens flare. But unfortunately, I'm not terribly keen on this bright spot here. It's obviously overexposed. There's no blue or color in there whatsoever. So it kind of ruins the photograph for me. But what I wanted to address today was ways or a way that you can get rid of lens flare. So if we look at this area right here, you can see that there's a little bit of lens flare, and then over here. Now, I can't take credit for this technique. It's been used for quite some time. And actually recently, a photographer named Alex Nail came out with a video about how to get rid of lens flare. And if you're interested in that, you should go check it out because it really does cover the topic really well and in depth. Now, unfortunately, it can be a little bit complicated. You need Photoshop to do it the way that I'm going to do it today. And you'll have to bear with me because I haven't used this method very much either. But I have used it a couple of times and it works really well, but it is a bit convoluted. It takes a while to set up. So just bear with me here. So the first thing you want to do is copy this layer here. So on a Mac, it's Command J, and then we want to make another layer. So you have three layers here. And then the first layer, we're just going to name that color. And then the second layer at the top here, we're just going to say that's detail. Okay. Now click on the color layer and go up to filters, blur, Gaussian blur, and bring the radius up to just under 10. So if we look at that layer there, we just unclick that, you can see that this is quite blurry. And the reason why it's blurry is because we're using this as a color layer, but we don't really want any detail to come through. Just bear with me here. Click on detail. Make sure that that's highlighted. Go up to image and then go down to apply image. You'll see a bunch of different boxes here. And you'd use this on all different images. It's the same settings. So first of all, layer, go to color, channel RGB. Now, ideally you should be working in 16-bit. If you're not, then perhaps you should think about it. It's just way more control over details and tonality and just a whole bunch of different things are so much better in 16-bit. So if you are working in 16-bit, be sure to check the invert box. And then go to blending and go down to add. Like that. And then scale should be at 2. Just press OK. Now you need to go up to the box where it says normal, or whatever yours says, and click on linear light. This one right here. Like so. Now, you can group this if you want, or you can just leave it the way it is. Click on the color layer, and we're just going to zoom in on the lens flare here. Okay, so just click on the color layer, and then go over to the stamp tool or press S. And what we're going to do is we're actually cloning the color, but not the detail, into this area here. So the best type of brush is hardness 0. And then you want to pick out a color that's going to represent this area here. So ideally something that's close to this area. So I want this color to be in this green flare area. So I'd press Option and that'll pick that little area here. So I've picked that, and now I'm going to start painting in that area. And you can see that what that's doing is it's actually grabbing the color, but it's not changing the detail of that area. It's maintaining the same detail, just changing the color. Same with up here. You'll notice that it's slightly lighter along this edge here. So again, we'll copy and then start cloning the color from that area into there. Same with up here. Now you'll notice there's a bit of pink or magenta in there. That's fine. That's obviously lens flare. I don't really care to get rid of that. I don't mind that lens flare. It's just these green blotches that concern me. And there we go. We've cloned out that spot there. And then I want to get rid of this spot here. This is a little jarring. Now this one might be a little bit harder to get rid of because we have this bright sky in there. So we have to be careful that we don't overlap. So again, I've got my clone tool or a stamp tool. I'm just going to take a sample from there and just start painting across like that. Now you can see that this area here is slightly brighter than this area here, so this is looking brighter. So this might be a little bit more tricky because obviously we can't take color from underneath the area where the lens flare is, so we have to take something that's an approximate. And actually these trees, they represent the color quite well actually down here. Now we could reduce the flow, or which I've already done, opacity, so it's not so jarring and it blends in just a little bit better. You can see that it's darker over here. So let's just up that a little bit. I'm just going to up this a little bit and see if we can get that to look a bit more. Yeah, we'll bring that down even more. And then for the top bit, I'm just going to harden the brush a little bit because I don't want to go over the edge there. And a little bit more. There, that doesn't look too bad. So we'll just zoom out there. And you can see that we've got rid of those annoying lens flares. It's a great technique. As I said, go check out Alex's YouTube video for more details about different ways. This is where I got this technique from, and I've known about it for quite some time, but I've never tried it, and it works extremely well. But as I said, if you don't use it that often, then you forget how to do it. So what would probably be Even easier, if you don't use this technique that often, is to set up some kind of action so that you go through this once and record it as an action, and then of course whenever you come across this again in another photograph, you could just use that action. That's probably the easiest way to do this. But anyway, I thought it was a really great way to get rid of lens flare, and then of course from there I would just edit my photograph as usual. So I hope this was helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions down below, and as I said, go check out Alex's video. It's really quite useful. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye for now.